The world is migrating towards a point where we'll have so many rich people, so few rich people, and so many poor people because of AI. This will come to pass because for people who will not be able to access AI, they will just be users. They will just so people who cannot use AI to their advantage, they will just be users, thereby giving so much to people who created this AI and those inventions.
Welcome to Gist HQ, your favorite show on YouTube. We give you gist from across Africa and a lot more. Fasten your seatbelt, you are in for a jelly good ride. Artificial intelligence is not really new, given that we have used various levels of AI in over a decade. What is happening now is that AI has developed to an extent where it now seems to be posing a threat on job security. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing artificial intelligence and job security. To do this, I have with me a professional photographer, blockchain expert, someone who is very conversant with artificial intelligence, Mr. Orus Michael. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I know that, like, even in photography, we also have the competition of AI coming in. The discussion is happening already. So, but I'll just start with the first question, which is artificial intelligence here to take our jobs?
That is a very so for me to be fast about this, yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah. So artificial intelligence is not actually here to steal our job. It's here to fine tune the way we work.
Awesome.
So
I like that.
the thing is, for those who will not be able to reskill, they will be out of the system. While those who are able to reskill will be part of the system, the new system. So that is what it is basically.
I like the way you put it, where you said it's not here to take our jobs, it's here to make our jobs or improve our jobs. Something
Improve
like
the way we work.
that. The way we work, yeah. Okay, so which sectors do you think are going to be most affected by the introduction of AI?
Every sector
Wow, really?
that ever existed and the ones that are yet to exist. Yeah.
Wow.
So let me say this. In 2019 I did AI. I did a course on data science, machine learning, and deep learning, which is the elementary of AI. And my first project was on banking, how artificial intelligence is going to affect banking.
Okay.
And artificial intelligence is actually affecting the banking sector as we speak at the moment because for people who cannot reskill, who cannot unlearn and relearn, they are phasing them out of the banking system because it's actually reducing their workload. So work that probably, let's say for instance, if the banking sector needed like 10 people to do a job like 10 years ago, now they only need one or two persons to do that same job. So it's reducing the workforce of the banking industry. So my answer here is going to affect every industry from photography to communication to education to any aspect that's any industry that you can name. If you will allow me to expatiate, so let's say for instance now, education. So before, let me say during the era of Google, where if you want to do probably a research, you go to Google, punch in some things, Google will bring out a link to what you want to do. Now, then the informations are scattered. Then you start going to different places to aggregate them, to learn and probably to present. But with the invention of AI, you only need to say, how can I be a good photographer? Now AI will tell you straight away how you can be a good photographer. Then if you are using a premium, AI will now give you link to where it sources the information from.
Yeah.
So you can use AI, for instance, now, because knowledge is now so decentralized that you can use AI to probe courses of Harvard University. So you can say, okay, AI, look into the database of Harvard. I want you to give me so as a professional in so field. Then AI will route it for you. So now AI is already taking jobs from the education. It's already affecting the educational sector because at your comfort, you have access to what people are paying billions of naira for. So that is what AI is here to do. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean AI will actually take the job because the way the world works, the world, AI is the talk of the town right now. So the world is actually migrating from the system we use right now to another system. So as AI is rendering some job useless, is actually creating other jobs. Exactly. So like a paper published by World Economic Forum this year, they said that with the invent of AI is going to, there will be a job reduction of about 12% because of AI, but there will be creation of 10% new job. So when you look at the difference, it's only 2%. Yeah. Now, it is because that research is today, because we already know the job that is going to be affected. Yeah. But as time goes on, you realize that AI will create more job for people. So the problem will be for those who did not unlearn and relearn.
Yeah. So like taking the conversation further, so how do you think people can make sure that they remain valuable, relevant?
So it is simple. So let me start from this. I started with photography. I started my career with photography, and I started with analog photography. That's cameras. Yes. So I morphed into the digital era. So, but some people who I was looking up to when I started, they are no more photographers because they couldn't transit from the analog era to the digital era. Yeah. Now, for those of us who were able to transit from the analog to digital, we realize that now photography is more lucrative. Yeah. Because we were able to transit. Yeah. So that is same thing that will happen in this AI era. So for people who will be able to transit, they will realize that they make a very good decision. But for people who will not be able to transit, then they will be fade out of the system. That is how it's going to be. So right now in the photo, let me
so I wanted to say let's use media. Yeah. So photography, videography.
So let me make a case of the photography media industry. So for instance, I use AI currently. So I've used AI. There is a work art in my house right now. I just made it yesterday. It's from AI. It's a work art of frustrated Nigerians who does not have anything to do, but they have to go and look. They have to go on fishing to get fish for themselves, so that at least they will have food. Yeah. So it's depicting in the excess of difficulties, we still have things that God has given us that can give us food if we look deeper. So that's what the art is depicting. And from A to Z was AI. I created it with AI. So now, and that was in the photography industry, in quotes, that was a huge market where people shoot landscape, shoot happenings in around the country or around the world and sell. I have a friend who is a very good friend of mine. What he does is just landscape, candid moments of people, and they sell. Now this is where it is going to be dead on photographers. So a big company can just commission a photographer and say, okay, we want to pay like you some huge amount of money for you to provide portraits or pictures or so things for us. Yeah. But now, why the AI is coming in, now they will only need to employ one person who understand prompt engineering, which is the new job AI has created, prompt
Yeah.
engineering, who understand prompt engineering in the photography industry.
Yeah.
Now that person now will now create images
Based on the
tailored
brief.
based on the brief, tailored to their mission, vision that will market them the best possible way. So that is now AI has rendered photography useless in that field, but is now creating another job for another
So
person.
as a photographer, I should start thinking about prompt generation.
So as a photographer, as every human being right now, because that's the new job AI has created, is prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering.
Yeah, prompt engineering. So you have to understand how it works to prompt anything you want to come. So once you get, for instance, once you generate images for the company, they just frame them on their wall, and that's it. So AI, like I said when I started, AI is just trying to upgrade the way we work. So it's not coming to steal our work. It's trying to upgrade with the way we work. So for people who upgrade with the system, they will enjoy. But for those who did not upgrade, then it will be a problem. Now, one other thing you can look at from this perspective. So AI will now, so like there was a research, I've forgotten the person who made the research, but a former student of Harvard about 5 years ago. The research was, we are coming, that's the world is migrating towards a point where we'll have so many rich people, so few rich people and so many poor people because of AI. This will come to pass because for people who will not be able to access AI, they will just be users. They will just, so people who cannot use AI to their advantage, they will just be users, thereby giving so much to people who created this AI and those inventions. So like, let's say for instance, I don't want to mention any brand, but let's take for instance one of the brands that is making wave in the AI industry. It costs $20 per month to use it, to use the premium. So for instance, let's say 1 million people using it, which from, I think, is over 1 million people that are using it. So look at 1 million people using that, to say every month they are making $20 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. So that is what AI is actually bringing, making few people to be super rich and creating poverty for the masses, for people who does not understand how to use the AI to their advantage.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking now, still, since we're photographers, we're in the creative industry. So I'm just wondering, because you've said I should go and acquire skills in prompt engineering, and I just go quickly to go and acquire skill, don't you think that if I wasn't a good photographer, if I wasn't creative on my own before as a photographer, and I just go and acquire the skill, will I be able to transit successfully as a prompt engineer?
Okay, so that is why
just trying to bring out the human, this creative aspect of you as a person.
So this is why I said AI is just coming to enhance the way we work. It's not coming to steal our work. So like, there are some industries that AI cannot tamper with. Industry, or some soft skills like creative thinking. So it is what you think. So AI, like what I tell people, AI is like the computer, the phrase in the early days of computer, garbage in, garbage out. So creative thinking, automation cannot do that. Critical thinking, automation cannot do that. And that is why most employers are so big on that now, creative thinking, critical thinking, empathy, and all those stuff. So these are skills you have to acquire from the main system we are now. Then you transit those skills into AI. So it is those skills that will make you know that, okay, this thing I created is good, the framing is good or is bad. For us in the media industry, those skills are, for instance, now you learn those skills from the normal system we have, the correct system. Then you transform, you use those skills to prompt into that, use of those skills to prompt AI to give you what you want, to give you the result you want. So from those skills, you'll be able to determine if what you get is actually good enough or not. So those skills are still useful. But without the new skill, those skills will be rather useless. Are you getting it? So you need them, you need the old skills for you to be a top-notch with AI.
With AI. And just to add to what you have said, so skills like critical thinking or creative thinking, storytelling, because you need to have an idea of what you're trying to portray, what you're trying to sell. to the audience to now know the
No,
right
the
prompts
to
to
use.
use on
Yeah.
AI. Awesome. Okay, guys, I hope you have been enjoying our conversation. We're going on a break now. See you soon. Hello, guys. Welcome back. We're still on Gist HQ, and I still have my guest here, Mr. Orus Michael. We're talking AI, so let's continue. Now, you said something about a study that said a few people are going to be very rich, while more people will be poor because as a result of AI. And you mentioned that a certain software or AI, whatever, charges $20 monthly for that subscription.
Yeah.
Now, my question is actually tied to that $20, the poverty and all that we're talking about. The question is, while the Western world is so crazy about AI and the fact that it's going to take jobs or make things easier, do you think people in places like Nigeria or what we call third world countries should have that same fear? When we still have challenges like infrastructure, there's a lot of poverty, is that a conversation we should be having, we should be focusing on? Or, man, we need to deal with these basic problems first before we can actually take advantage of AI?
So when you look at the world today, the world have moved to a level where, let me use the word, a global village.
Yeah.
The world as we speak right now is a global village. So most of the things people have access to in the Western world, people have access to them in the third world countries.
True.
So it now depends on an individual to either embrace them or let them go. Now the thing is, every human wants good life, and every human wants to live a better life. So if there are ways to live a better life and that person can afford it, definitely they will go for it. That is why most of all these things are being driven from the private sectors. They are not driven from the government sector. And because they are driven from the private sector, anybody can take advantage of them. So since there is no restriction from the government or law that you can't use this, Nigerians are hoping in. Now, for you to understand, when you talk about AI, we have so many people from the third world countries that are doing massively well in this field. I have friends who are working in some of the biggest companies in this world as machine learning experts, AI, DevOps, and stuff like that. So most of the products we are even enjoying today, Nigerians are part of the teams that created them.
Wow.
So it's not restricted to, see, the thing is, internet has brought so much to humanity that most of the things people have access to in the Western world, we all have access to them. Look at the world of remote work now. So remote work have created a level playing ground for everybody. I have Nigerians who are based here, who are working in US, Canada, Australia, and everywhere. And now, if these people cannot use this new technology, that means they'll be phased out of whatever they are doing. That's to tell you that it is a discussion for everybody, because we are already everywhere in the world. I have done gig for companies in Germany. I've done gig for companies in Australia. So if I am not going with the trend, that's to tell you I won't be able to get those gigs. So it is a discussion. It is actually paramount right now, because the world is now designed in a way that every country has to hope into any technology at the same time. So it wasn't like before where things happen in the Western world that they use them for over 10 years before they ship them to Africa. No, we are now at the same level in new technology. So we have to take advantage of that. For me, I think is a good way to go. And they themselves, they know that Africans are very intelligent, and we are giving them, take one, collect one.
That's awesome. That's really good to know that bad infrastructure or whatever poor governance doesn't affect you as an individual. If you're serious about your career development and you want to remain relevant, go on the internet. It's a global village already, and take advantage of those opportunities.
So for me to buttress on that, most of all those infrastructure and bad government, those are things that you don't have power over.
Yes.
So there are things some people have to determine for you to use. Now, Nigerians for the past 10 years, Nigerians are, you love to be a Nigerian. Even if most times we hate to be in this enclosed space we call Nigeria, but you love to be a Nigerian because we do things on our own. We share knowledge. We want, even if the country is not giving us, we know if we put effort, we can do it. So based on our nation, if we look into the government, if we look to government to give us some certain things before we do some certain things, that means this generation, we will live, get to 90 years, and we will not be able to be using AI if we wait on the government.
Wow. So in wrapping up this conversation, you've mentioned prompt engineering. What other new roles should we now be looking at gaining skills in as
so right now, I think prompt engineering is the major thing. Okay. Prompt engineering is the major thing AI is actually creating. Now, you have to move your normal skills into AI because AI has simplified the process. So let's say, for instance now, DevOps developers, you only need the basic of, you only need to understand how web development or app development works. With AI, you can now go to an AI platform and say, okay, I want an app that can do so. Just give him the prompt you want, describe the prompt you want, then AI will generate, either you want it on code or anything, either you want it on Python, JavaScript, Java, C++, and all these things. You don't need to go, you only need to understand how they work, the basic. So AI will give you the code. Now, if you copy those code and host the code, a site is up.
Wow. Wow.
Awesome. Even if we need, so for instance, now you want to be a digital marketer. Are you getting me? So if you want to be a digital, you need to go and learn or acquire the knowledge of the basics of digital marketing. So after having the basic knowledge, then you come back to AI and say, AI, I am now ready for you. I want to do this. I want to write a copy to market a photography industry to oil workers in Lekki. AI will generate, if you need the plan, AI will generate the plan. If you need a monthly plan, different ideas, AI will now give it to you. Are you getting me? So this is now, so one thing AI is doing is AI is tracking time. So what would have cost you probably 2 or 3 months to do, AI will do it for you with 1 week. So once AI has generated whatever you want to, then you tweak it to whatever thing you want. So awesome. That's just it.
Wow, that's quite interesting. So AI is not here to take our jobs, it's here to make our jobs easier. For those who are willing to upskill. Yeah, that's a good. Thank you so much, Orus, for this conversation. I don't know if
my pleasure.
If there's anything you want to say, like in summary, to the guys out there.
Okay, so in summary, we should all be aware, because one thing I would say, this is an era of AI, but we will not even use the AI to 50% before we have integration of AI and blockchain. So having the integration of AI and blockchain is another massive, another level of automation and way of living. Wow. So the world is coming at us very fast, and if we are not fast enough, we'll be out of the system. So if I would say anything in summary, we should keep learning. We should keep following the trend, or else we'll be out. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So I hope you have enjoyed today's show. Keep a date with us every week on this channel. Do not forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.